Legend of the Shattered Halberd, Volume 2, A Matter of Possession. Very nice. Now that the spirit had possessed her body, Wei Yang was of a much sweeter and gentler disposition. She took a tiny bite of one of Mer's stuffed pies, but it was too hot. So in an effort to avoid burning her tongue, she stuck it out of her mouth and panted for breath frantically. Truth be told, it was all rather cute.
That came unexpectedly. I need some time to process.
Mer, who had given up one of his eyeballs to appease the spirit, helped himself to a pie and asked,
"Can you go over it again?"
"Very well. The meteorite was in fact a divine halberd. It was snapped into pieces by a commoner and made into 9 cursed swords, the ominous swords. This one is the Sword of Mist. Adding in that pair I found, 3 of them to date."
"And what's your place in all of this?"
"I was once the daughter of the Celestial Emperor, but I have long forgotten my name. I was in charge of conducting trials and sentencing at the end. A judge, to use your parlance."
Since the Court of Imperial Entertainments was responsible for sacrifices and offerings, Mer's father had forced him to learn every last detail and word uttered in every known court ritual. And because most rituals involved encounters with bizarre forces and temperamental deities, he also knew a thing or two about how to deal with them. For instance, he knew that deities tended to guard their names closely, for knowledge of a deity's true name allows a human being to exercise absolute authority over them. So he wasn't convinced this one had simply forgotten her name. "So the court wants to retrieve the swords to reconstruct the divine halberd." Mer forced himself to entertain the reasonability of this line of inquiry.
"I don't know. The master of this body knows nothing else. She's just deeply angry. She wants to prove herself."
Wei Yang puts her hands on her chest. "So, what's the next step? Do I have to perform some sort of farewell ceremony for you?"
Mer stroked the bandaged and sightless eye.
"And then do I get my eye back?"
"Give me a name." She raised her head, oblivious to the crumbs at the edges of her mouth.
"Don't be ridiculous. The Imperial Civil Service examinations are overseen in person by the Emperor himself. How will I claim the title of Minister of Imperial Banquets with only one eye?"
"Well, I have things to reclaim too. The remaining pieces of the divine halberd," she responded. "Otherwise, this world and everything in it is going to burn in hellfire." Mer kept looking at her, but did not respond. "Oh, you do not need to go with me. But with the fate of all living things at stake, please allow me to hold on to your eyeball for the time being."